How to replicate a volumetric light in comp. In today's exercise, we will try to replicate this volume light effect you might have seen in the many movies and photography. We use this God rays effect for emphasizing the space and the mood of the shot. And this quite expensive effect in doing that in 3D, but when we make it in 2D, in comp, it's quite cheap resource-wise and time-wise. So let's jump into it. Okay, here I am in Fusion, and let's load our footage. Loader, footage, and renaming this node as footage. So this sequence is 754 frames. I will not use the full length just to speed up the process, and I will use it from frame 400. So let me just type here 400, so our timeline is shorter. And the next step would be to track this footage. So I'm calling the camera tracker node, plugging my footage and enabling preview auto track locations and bidirectional tracking as well. So the detection threshold can be 2, and minimum feature separation can go to 0.02. Yeah, we're ready to track, so auto track. All right, auto track is done, and now we have to solve this track. So hitting solve. All right, our solve is done as 0.4 the solve error. As a reminder, what everything that below 1 is a good solve. But we can improve it slightly, so we can just apply track selection filters. The bad tracks are selected, and just removing them, delete and track again. All right, now it's 0.3, so we're good to go further. And I'm going to export tab, and here I would like to set up first, before exporting 3D scene, my outputs. So I don't need lens distortion, I don't need ground plane, yeah, the rest can stay, and export. So this is my tracking result. I have point cloud, camera, merge 3D node that combines them together, and camera tracker renderer node. So let's see in 3D space what we got here. All right, this is our gate. So let me disable the grid in the viewport to see it better. So having this scene, we don't actually have to do anything with that, except that in the rendering node, we have to enable output channels, the world position. We need that channel so our volumetric light, fake volumetric light node can work. So let's create now a volume light. Volume fog node, and it has several inputs. We're gonna need 3, so that's a render result, this one, and what camera see, also 3D scene, and I did use the mask input as well. So let's go one by one. So this is my 2D information, goes to right into yellow input. Yeah, it looks like this for now. And let's also use our 3D scene. So let me move it like this. 3D scene output and plug it into pink one. By hitting Alt, you can create this node. And so you can see how in the viewport the white box appeared, and this box does not exist in the 3D space here in the merged 3D node. You will not be able to see it, but because that's a post effect. But it knows the depth of the scene, so you see how it sticks somewhere near to the gates. So we have a coordinate system there. And in this volume folk settings, we can adjust the properties of that box. So first of all, we can change the shape of the container, the scale, of course. And let's go and create a light first. So I want this fake volume box to be affected by the light source. So if I create a light, directional light, this is going to be which one? A point light, yeah. And I'm plugging this point light into the merge 3D node. Let's see that in 3D. Okay, so this is my light. Oh, this is my light. Yeah, actually, I picked the wrong one because I need directional spotlight, not the point light. I remove this one. Spotlights, yes, because we need to have that cone and to be limited the light source. I'm plugging this into merge 3D node and moving my source behind the shape of the gate, and now roughly position the rotating the light source. Yeah, now let's get back to our volume folk and position this box more or less properly. And let's actually use the sphere. Sphere a little bit bigger, further from us, maybe. Now I'm enabling the do lighting, so it will be affected by light source. If I move my light, you see how it the light scatters around and through the sphere. All right, so let's go back to shape and increase the scale. Again, aligning the position better. All right, let's make it brighter. So in the volume folk, in the color tab, no, sorry, in the light tab, I can increase, let's see, emission, I think. Okay, not bad. And let's move the shape a little bit down. Yeah. So that's a good start, good setup for further work. Now you see those bands. That's because here you see these lines. This happens because of the lower samples, amount of samples. So I'm enabling in the volume folk adaptive sample. And here in the samples, we can increase to 64, let's say, and it blurs that out. Of course, we cannot keep it like this because we need to have a mask. We need to have a proper shape.
And for that, in this shot, I used two masks and combined them together. So first of all, I used a depth map. So depth map, and it requires just image information. So I'm plugging that. It takes a few seconds to calculate the depth, and it's done. It looks like this. We can of course adjust the areas. So let's say near limit, far limit. And what I'm trying to achieve now is to have this arch to be black and white mask. So this area, what is the wall, is it should be black to block this piece of volume light, and what's in the arch and behind it should be white color. Actually, I'm already having this effect here. It just needs to be inverted. And here we have in the depth map invert option. Let's try now this as a mask. If I plug this depth map directly to the blue input, it will not affect the shot, because we need to convert this depth map information into the bitmap information, bitmap node. So I'm plugging that and plug into the blue input. Again, nothing happened because if we check our bitmap in the viewport here, it will use by default the channel, the alpha channel, because this black and white information has alpha channel value 1 everywhere. It's totally white. Instead of alpha, I'm gonna use luminance. And now if I check the volume fog here, piece of the volume light is blocked now. Let me unplug that and plug again. And this is exactly what our depth mask looks like. So blocking light right here. Unfortunately, this depth map is not enough to create this nice shape we used to see. So I also used simple polygon mask to kind of sculpt this shape of this light. So basically what I need is to have this area to be fully white mask, so the light comes through everywhere. We'll roughly create this mask right now like this. Keep them all sharp, and yeah, now let's plug this polygon mask into the bitmap. And maybe blur the edge slightly, soften the edge. Let's check the result. Okay, it's this area is still too bright, so it spills around. So we need to soften that, or we can, in the volume fog, we can go to the shape and soften the edge, because there is some spill in real life, like glowy effect. Let's check this comp on the timeline. Yeah, we're not far from the final result. Of course, this area is dark, so we have to actually, let's first adjust the position of the light. So logically, we should see the line, the edge of the volume light like this, like here, diagonally, because I guess the sun is still high, so we need to move our light higher. Again, removing the grid from the viewport. This is my light, and I want to rotate it like this. So you see this beam light already starts to be more prominent, and move it something like that. Okay. We still see this quite large spill here of the light. Let's find out why. First, let's see the size of the sphere. I think size can be like this, but maybe we could move it down slightly, the sphere. Yeah, now it's more plausible. And I'm moving in the Z space the sphere. Right, I think it's not bad. It's quite soft, this light. Yeah, we can maybe play with the noise. So add a little bit of noise into it, might give it more realism. It's quite sensitive, this value. So as soon as I add some values, it starts to eat a lot. We can play with the position of the noise and maybe gain to make it more contrasty. I think it's more or less realistic. And as a final touch, I would make it slightly brighter. So let's say maybe scattering. No, let's keep the scattering as it was before, but then emission, let's increase it a bit. And maybe as a final touch, I would rotate this light slightly, like so, and move a bit. I think you got the idea how it works, and by adjusting the position, you can find the best look. So here we go, and let's see before and after. Yeah, we added this nice volume light effect for, I don't know how much time we spent, but not much. Absolutely, that's less time than if we would render this as a separate pass. So thank you for your attention, and see you in the next one.